All right, welcome back to another game of Field General Football. My name is Brian Hafferkamp. I'm now the owner of Field General Football. Used to be called Flash Football back in the day, and recently this is a creation of Candlelight Games and Jason Graham of the Jason Graham or the Jason Flash Football YouTube channel. This is a game that was originally created back in the 90s and will be resurrected under the Clark and Addison Gaming Company banner going forward. So testing out what we have so far as putting some different things together. And like all my games, this is the main game engine is created. So that's good. And the ratings system has already been created. So we're about 2/3 of the way there. Now it's just kind of sifting through all of the things that Jason has created over the years. This game has had 2 or 3 versions, so there's lots of different details that were added over the years, and some of these were made public, some of them were just like private to a leak that he was running, and so just sort of taking in all the information, kind of getting your head wrapped around it, picking out where the core of the game is and making sure you start from the core and then adding on any components that needed to be added on at a later date. Are there new things that need to be made? Maybe that can modernize it. Are there things that just need to be left off because they're just a little extraneous, or just trying to find the soul of the game in a lot of ways. And I think there's a good start here. I'm obviously using some components that are not specific to that. They're play action football, so everything doesn't fit necessarily neatly, and everything on this sheet is not necessarily going to be used for this game. So we have a game going on between the 1972 Dolphins and Redskins. This is a 70, I guess technically the 1973 Super Bowl. Since we played the Super Bowl in January, but it's for the 1972 season. So this is the Dolphins' perfect season. I believe they went 16-0, counting the playoffs. Right now, they're ahead 7-0. They just scored on a Bob Greasy touchdown, 6 yards on the touchdown strike, and it is Washington football. They just took the kickoff out to the 24. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to run it through, and we're just going to play out the game. A couple of things to note. I did create a cheat sheet, which I'm being new to the game, I still need it. And it's got 2 sides to it. So you can see here, there's 2 sides. And this is a separate file, so you could just print off the cheat sheet, but it's also in the game guide at the end, sort of an appendix at the end. Basically, when there's an asterisk on the play, and that's up here on the charts, the team charts, you need to check for a touchdown or a fumble. Neither of these teams have a kickoff, and neither team has a punt asterisk, but they do have interception return asterisks, so that's a possibility. So basically you flip in the off deck, which is this deck back here. You cut the deck in half. You put out 6 cards for the timeouts, which may or may not be used, typically, at the end of the halves. And then this comes the off deck, and this one here that's in my hand, I'm using as the game deck. This is the other half of it here. So if you flip a card here, and the number down here says 1/2, then that is a touchdown on an asterisk. If it says 5/6, that means there's a fumble lost at the return spot. So let's say we have an interception return out to the 24. We flip. We want to see if there's a touchdown. Instead, it's a 5/6. That's a fumble. So it's kind of a risk reward to take the asterisk. You do not ever have to try for the touchdown. You can simply take the yardage. The asterisk just gives you the option to do that. So it's totally in your hands if you want to take that gamble, or, whatever. You can choose that. But if you do, there's a risk of a fumble. A 5/6 happens more often than a 1/2. So the reward is an upside of pretty high of a touchdown, but the risk is a pretty low. So you just have to gauge that. And some teams have punt return asterisks. Some have kick return asterisks. I see 3, 4 kick returns and 1, 2, 3 punt returns. That just means that the team had an actual kick return or punt return touchdown during the season. And then almost every team has interception return. Some don't, but most of them do. For the field goals or PATs, this one I get tripped up on all the time. So if you're less than half of the penalty kick, I don't know why I keep saying penalty kick. Place kicking, PK is place kicking. I've got soccer on the mind. Somehow, I don't know. I haven't even dealt with soccer for a long time. So if you're less than half of the place kicking rating, then the field goal is automatic. You don't even have to try. So let's say your PK rating is a 30. If you're inside the 15, whenever you decide you want to kick the field goal, it's just automatic. If not, then you'll have to kick using this. So a 4/4 is a missed field goal. A 1/2 is a blocked field goal. And then we have a 1/2 is a missed PAT. So 1/2 is bad, 4/4 is bad on a missed field goal. Otherwise, if it's not any of these numbers, then it's good. And then just a quick reminder on, excuse me, quick reminder on the FAC results. Like we have an interception here. What do you do on an interception? It's at the yardage indicated past the line of scrimmage, which is on the card here, 17 yards down the field. Then you apply the defense's IR for the return. And then if there's an asterisk, then you can do a touchdown fumble check. So, you just apply. So if it's 17 yards down the field and it's, let's say, the Dolphins that make it the pick, their interception return average is 11. So you go 17 yards down the field and then 11 yards for the return, and that's where the ball would be spotted. There's also a fumble question mark is a potential fumble. On a 6-6, the offense can keep possession. Otherwise, it's a fumble recovery by the defense. A fumble exclamation point or a fumble lost is just straight to the defense. There's no check for the offense to get that. On a broken play, you flip the game card deck, I believe. So you'll flip this one to the next play. You'll take the worst result of the progression or timing pass. I have to check and see if it's the game card or the off card deck. So on a broken play, you'll take the worst result of an inside or outside run. On a quarterback pressure, you do the same thing and you take the worst result between the progression or the timing pass. So on this card here, one says 10 to the flanker, one says interception. You would take the timing pass on the quarterback pressure. So the quarterback pressured, and that results in the worst play. For a sack, you flip the off-deck card and you look at the RN number. For a progression pass, it's whatever RN number is appropriate. So if it's the visiting team, you'll look on the left. If it's the home team, you'll look on the right. Obviously, these are the same number, so this would be a -1 on the sack. If it was a timing pass, then you add these two together. So 1 + 1 is 2, and that would be a -2 on the sack. So option on timing plays to have, because it's a deeper drop and it's a longer pass, your quarterback is further behind the line of scrimmage. That's sort of the thinking. And then for an injury, you reduce the position on the card result to 0 for the remainder of the game. There's a maximum of 1 injury per team. So you can't do that like multiple times in a game per team. And then on the backside, we have, this is really for the weather for we call it the quick game. So there's some bad weather and how that affects things. Actually, I guess you can do that for any outdoor if you want to add weather. So it tells you what to do. So 4 to 6 is normal conditions. There's no weather kind of things. But it's interesting. There's some interesting things going on here. And then what to do, how to shuffle the cards, how to use timeouts, kickoffs, punts, the interception return is described here. And then timing passes that exceed the end zone. So yards to go to the goal line plus 10 yards. Those are incomplete. So if you have 12 yards to go and you hit on the 63-yard timing pass, that is out of the end zone, incomplete. A progression pass, though, can never exceed the end zone. So if you get past the goal line with a progression result, you're at the 3-yard line, and then you hit on a 10-yard. Well, I don't know. I don't even know if there's a good. I don't think there's a good one for that. Just basically, progression passes can never exceed. It's always going to be a touchdown if you get past the goal line. And then the off deck and what it's used to resolve. So special teams, fumbles, interceptions, etc. So keeping that handy, that is going to be a lifesaver, especially page number 1. Just as a quick reference, especially on those asterisks and the field goal PAT kicks. I'm also still using I'm going to be using the Smash Mouth offense for both teams. This is 1972, and that's just the more appropriate way to go. All right, so with all that out of the way, we can finish up our game. Now, let me get my water here, and just let's get us going. So Miami just scored. Washington has the ball. It's 1st and 10 at their own 24. For Washington, they have a 0 fullback, 2 halfback, 1 split end, 0 for the flanker, -1 for the tight end, and -2 for the bench. They're facing a defense that's a -2. So we need to feature that running back, halfback. I forgot his name again. But he's a stud, and he was really good for like a 3 to 4 year stretch. And so we are going to lean pretty heavily into him. Now, the halfback gets the ball more often on the outside run. So on 1st and 10, we're going to be hitting the outside run. And there's more of an opportunity to fumble the ball, but there's also more of an opportunity to hit on bigger plays. And we need bigger plays to offset that -2 of Miami's run defense. So you got to kind of risk it a little bit out there. It's a -2 on the passing defense. So they do have a +1 to the split end, so timing passes are probably going to be better. So their split end and flanker don't hurt you, but the tight end, no bueno, and the fullback, just a 0. So short progression passes are not going to be the best way to go. So far, this Redskins quarterback, is it Billy Kilmer? Maybe. He's 1 for 2. So we're going to lean into the running. They haven't had a lot of running plays. I think must have been 3 and out. And on the first possession, I can't remember. So we're going to finish up the first quarter, and then we'll continue, and hopefully I can just get the whole game in here. But let's go 1st and 10. It's going to be an outside run. So we're looking at outside run. 9 to the fullback is 9 yards, minus the 2 is 7. So that's going to be out to the 31. It brings up 2nd down and 3. And I am just kind of keeping the stats here. So it'll be a little bit slower just because I'm writing down all the stats. 2nd down and 3. So we can do the inside run or progression pass. Let's go with the inside run. Keep it on the ground. 9 to the halfback becomes 11 because of the halfback's +2. And then -2. So you can see that the halfback is just sort of kind of wiped out. So his +2 is wiped out by the defense's -2. And that becomes a 9-yard run for the halfback. That's a 1st down. So that's 10. That's 9 out to the 40. 1st and 10 from the 40-yard line. Let's go with the outside run again. 2 to the halfback becomes 4. 4 minus 2 is 2. Again, the halfback is essentially his -2 is essentially, or +2 is wiped out basically. 2nd down and long. So let's go with the timing pass. No, we have progression. We have inside run or progression pass. So let's go with the progression pass. That's going to be incomplete here. Both passes would be incomplete. and that's going to bring up third down. So we have third and a little bit of ways to go here. This should be there. We're at the 42-yard line. It's 3rd and 8, so now we have a progression pass or a timing pass. We're going to go with the timing pass, and that is also going to be incomplete. So we do wind up getting a first down, but that's it, as we're going to have to punt for the second time with Washington. And the punt for Washington is 39 yards. And so we say 10, 20, 30, 40, -1, down to the 19. And then the punt return for the Dolphins is a 7. So 19 plus 7 is out to the 26. There is no asterisk, so we just have to do the punt returns as normal. So that's all it takes on the kicks, and it'll be 1st and 10 for Miami. Inside run to Miami, that's going to be the strength of their offense, but Zonka gets zonked here. -1 to the fullback negates the +1 on the chart. The team here is a -1, so that's going to be -1 overall. And that brings up 2nd down and 11. 2nd and 11, let's go with a progression pass. That's going to be incomplete. And we need to go with timing pass on 3rd down and 11. 15 to the wide receiver. 15. So when we have a wide receiver or running back, we need to look at the bench. So we're looking at the bench, and it's 1 plus 1. 15 plus 1 is 16. -2 is 14. And so we have 10 and 14 out to the 39 for a first down. Nice pitch and catch from Bob Greasy to basically the 3rd wide receiver is what we're looking at on that play. And that's going to be the end of the quarter. So Miami shuts out Washington 7-0 in the first quarter. Let me put you on hold, and I will shuffle the cards and get it all set up for quarter number 2. All right. So as we get ready for quarter number 2, I'll show you how this cutting the cards and all that works. So basically you just cut it in half, and then you can tell if it's half and half by just lining them up next to each other. So still maybe 1. And so I press them down. Still 1. Yeah, it's kind of an easy way. You could also count them out so that as I press them together, they don't slide anymore. So you could also count them out so that there's 30. So we're going to take 6 off the top. Those are going to be our timeouts. And this is our off deck. And then now we have our game deck full of 30 plays. Okie doke. So these are all plays from scrimmage. So we have 30 plays per quarter, 120 for the game. And that's between both teams. So both teams will have 15 per quarter. So about 60 plays a game. All right. Obviously, it's not going to come out that way because it's going to come out based off of their performance, right? Okay, I should just say that. All right. Somebody got... No, there's no sack. Okay, doke. So it will be 1st and 10 for... Who is this for? This is for Miami. All right, 1st and 10. Sorry, it's early. 1st and 10 for Miami after a 14-yard completion from Bob Greasy. So 1st and 10, we're going back to the inside run. We get a 1 to the running back. Their running back, remember, this goes to the bench. Their bench is a +1, so they had a good running back or a good backup wide receiver or something, good bench. And that is a 2, and then a 2 -1. They still managed to eke out 1 yard. So 2nd down and 9. And we will go to the inside run again. It'll be the fullback. Fullback is Zonka. That's +2. So 1 + 1 is 2. 2 minus 1. They managed to push the pile forward for another yard. And that's going to bring up third down and long. 3rd and 8. We're going to go with the timing pass. And that is going to be incomplete. So Greasy not able to get a second first down. And that's going to lead to a punt. Their punting number is a 43, so good punting average. 10, 20, 30, 40, 1, 2, 3, down to the 16. And for the return for the Skins, that's going to be a 5. So out to the 21. And that'll be 1st and 10 for Washington. Second punt of the day for Miami. So Washington comes back out. They're down 7-0. This game, remember, I don't know if you remember or not, but it was 14-7. That was the sort of the final score. A lot of back and forth. Miami was up 14-0, and then near the end of the game, somewhere in the fourth quarter or the end of the third or something, there was a punt return and a wild play. You have to look it up. Some kind of wild play on a punt block. And the Redskins wound up taking it in for a touchdown, but it was kind of if you read the description of the play, it was like the ball was bouncing all over the place, so it was kind of weird. So we have Washington 1st and 10 outside run. 4 to the halfback becomes 6. 6 minus 2 is 4, and that will be out to the 25. So remember, anytime it's the halfback, it's just going to be right here. So 4 yards brings up 2nd down and 6. 2nd and 6, we have a kind of everything open to us, inside, outside, progression pass. Let's go with the outside run again. See if we can hit on something. Again, another 4-yard run to the halfback. So that's going to bring up 3rd down and 2. And at 3rd and 2, we have an inside run or we have a progression pass. It's a -2 for both of those. So let's go with the inside run. Maybe we'll get the halfback. We get the fullback instead. It's 4. 4 minus 2 is 2. And he bangs ahead for a first down as he gets the ball just across the line to go. And that's a first down run. So 1st and 10 now. Go back to the outside run. Oh, a -1. -1 minus 2 is -3 because our fullback doesn't have any sort of help there. So that's going to be 2nd down and 13 as we lose 3 on the play. Good defense from Miami. 2nd and long, we can do an inside run or progression pass. Let's go with the inside run. That'll be to the running back. That's 1 minus 2, so that's going to be a -1 and another -3 on the play. They're going in the opposite direction that they should. They've lost 6 yards on the last 2 plays, and it's 3rd down and long. So let's see if they can hit on the timing pass. Nope, there's a sack. And so on a timing pass, we need to flip a card, and then we add these 2 numbers together. You can see that that is a 23. A 2 and a 3 is a 5 together. So that's going to be a sack for -5 yards. And they continue to go backward. They're at the 20, 4th and forever. And thankfully, we're going to get a play. I guess you could take the, that's for the quarterback. I don't know. I'm not sure who the injury would be on. I have to get some clarification on that and how you do that. I think I've seen it in the rules, but I'm not exactly sure. So we will ignore the injury on that one this time, and then we'll just do the punt. So punt is 39 yards, 10, 20, 30, 40. -1 is down to the 41. And the return is 7 yards. So these are all based off of historical averages for the number 1 punter and the number 1 punt returner on the team. And same thing for the touchdowns, whether there's a touchdown or not. And the kick returner is based off of the number 1 kick returner on the team. So the Bears had a particularly good one, 1972. All right. So it is 1st and 10 Miami with great field position at their own 48. They're going to go back to the well with the inside run. 3 to the halfback is going to be 4 yards. 4 minus 1 is 3 yards on the pickup. 2, 3. So out to the 49, sorry. 3 yards in a cloud of dust kind of football. Back to the inside run. No yards to the fullback. That means there's a +1 and a -1, which equals no yards. So in the end, the Redskins run defense bows up and stops Larry Zonka for no yards up the middle. 3rd down and long. So this is going to be 3rd and 7. We'll go with the let's go with the timing pass. That's going to be incomplete. Even if we went the progression pass, it wouldn't have done much. So that's going to be incomplete. Greasy's missed on his last 2, 3 of his last 4, and they're going to have to punt the ball yet again. They're at the 49, and their kicking is a 43. Yeah. So they are going to kick the ball down to the 6, and the return from the 6 is 5 yards out to the 11. So the Redskins are deep in their own territory. Punt number 3 for Miami. Redskins are deep in their own territory. Let's go with the inside run. We'll switch it up a little bit, maybe catch them off guard. 4 to the halfback is 6. 6 minus 2 is 4. And that's a nice gain on 1st down, 2nd down, and 6. Let's go with the outside run. 0 to the halfback, so that's going to be 2 yards minus 2, which is a 0. And that'll bring up 3rd down and 6. 3rd and 6. Let's go with the progression pass. They have a pretty good split in and flanker. Progression pass, 10 to the flanker is going to be 10 yards minus the 2, which is 8. And that is more than they needed for the 1st down as they get it out to the 23. So nice job by Billy Kilmer with the 8-yard completion. New set of downs for the Redskins. Let's go to the outside run. 5 to the halfback becomes 7. 7 minus 2 is 5. So they get half what they need on 1st down. Out to the 28, 2nd down and 5. 2nd and 5, we can do a bunch of stuff. Let's go inside on the run. 1 to the halfback is 3. 3 minus 2 is, of course, the 1. So that's going to bring up 3rd down and 4 from the 29. They got to get to the 33. 3rd and 4, progression pass or timing pass. Let's go with progression. It is a higher chance of completion, although you can see there we should have picked the timing pass. So that's going to be an incompletion on 4th down. And that is going to be, it's a difficult day here for the Redskins. Just 2, 4, 6. So just 2 of 6 for 12 yards. Not a great start in the passing game. It's going to be a punt. Punt is 39 yards, 10, 20, 30, 40, minus 1 to the 32. And the return for the Dolphins is 7. So another punt from the Redskins. And it'll be Miami football at their own 39. We are getting nearish, probably in the back half of the 2nd quarter. 1st down, let's go outside, see if we can get the ball to Mercury Morse. We do, but that's actually going to be to the backup. 12 to the bench is a 13. 13 minus 1 is 12, and that's a really good run on 1st down from the backup running back. So 10, 11, 12, and gets it out to the 49. So just past the midfield into Washington territory. 1st and 10. Let's go back to the inside run with Larry Zonka. It won't be Zonka. It'll be 2 to the running back, so that's a 3. 3 minus 1 is 2 yards, as the backup's getting a little bit of giving the starters a little breather. 2nd and long. Let's go to progression pass. Let's see if Greasy can keep it going. He does not. It's going to be an incompletion, and that brings up 3rd down. 3rd and 8. Let's go with the timing pass. 14 to the flanker. The flanker is a minus 1, so that becomes a 13. And 13 minus 2 is 11. And that'll be out to the 36. That is a 1st and 10. Nice first down pass from Greasy, who's picked up quite a few. He's got 1 touchdown so far, and it's just miss, catch, miss, catch. That's kind of how the football is during this time. Inside run, 0 to the halfback. Halfback is a +1, and the defense is a -1, so that's no yards. Brings up second down and 10. Let's get another inside run. Let's see if Zonka can bust one. He can't. It doesn't even go to him. It goes to Mercury Morris, and he's going to be stopped again for no gain as he tries to go off of the left guard's butt cheek and gets handled on the inside. Third down and 10. We need a timing pass to hit here. It does. 18 to the split end. So the split end is a 0. So 18 minus 2 is 16. And that's going to be a big play on third down as we get down to the 20-yard line. And that brings up first and 10 from the 20. So 16-yard pass from Greasy. Back to the inside run. It's Zonka straight ahead, 4 yards. Becomes 3. And brings up second down and 7. Another inside run. Oh no, -1 to the halfback. So that's going to be 0. That'll be -1 overall. And a possibility of a fumble from Mercury Morris. A 6-6 on a fumble. So when we look over here, we have a fumble with a question mark. So flip the off deck card, a 6-6. The offense gets to keep possession. Otherwise, it's a fumble. So it's a 4-4. And the fumble is going to happen right here at that -1 spot. And it's turned over by Miami. So they're driving and they turn it over in the red zone. So I like to go -1 with a fumble. First fumble of the day, and we only have 3 cards left, so I don't know what's going to happen here. We're just going to run the clock out, I think. For Washington, they're going to settle for not scoring in the first half. We'll see. Maybe they'll hit a big run. I don't know. First and 10, let's do the outside run. 17 to the halfback becomes 19. -2 is 17, right? So 17. Just trying to run the clock out. 10, 20, -1, 2, 3, out to the 35. Brings up first and 10. We'll do the inside run here. 3 to the halfback is 5. So that's going to be a 3-yard run. Out to the 38. Brings up second down and 7, and another inside run. 3 to the running back. 3 minus 2 is 1. 1 minus 2 is a -1. So -1 as the Miami defense is ready for it. And that will be the end of the first half. So neither team scores in the second quarter. This one playing out exactly as we would have thought. 7-0 Miami over Washington at the half. And it will be so the Redskins kicked off in the first half. Miami has 1 kickoff as well. So the Redskins will receive in the second half. So let's go ahead and I'll put you on hold and I will shuffle the deck and we'll get to the second half. All right, we're ready for the second half. I'll play out the second half a little bit faster than I did the first half. I think you get the gist of the game and how the game works, so I'm not going to call out a bunch of stuff. The Redskins are going to start at their own 24 after the kickoff, and it'll be first and 10. Outside run. That's 2 yards. That becomes just 2 yards to the halfback. Second down and 8 for the Skins. Let's go with the progression pass. That's 1 to the fullback. The fullback is a 0. So 1 minus 2. That's going to be a gain of -1. So a completion, but a completion for a loss as they try to swing it out. And good defensive play. Timing pass on 3rd and long. 36 yards to the wide receiver. The bench is a -2, so 34 yards. And then another -2 here. 32 yards. 10, 20, 30, and 1, 2, down to the 43 as they cross midfield on a big-time pitch and catch from Billy Kilmer to the wide receiver. And that's going to be 1st and 10 for the Redskins. Outside run will be -3, -5. So back to the 48 as he tries to give ground and gives way too much, and it's 2nd and long. Let's go with the progression pass. 7 to the split end, becomes 8, becomes 6. So down to the 42, makes it manageable on 3rd down with that completion. 3rd down and 9. Let's go with a timing pass. 33 to the tight end. Pow. So that becomes 32 and 30. So 10, 20, 30, all the way down to the 12 as he rumbles for a 1st down on a 30-yard gain. So the Redskins on fire coming out of the halftime. It's 1st and 10 from the 12. Outside run is no yards. Brings up 2nd down and 10. Progression pass, 3 to the fullback. Just a 1-yard gain as they try to swing it out of the backfield. And a good completion, but nice defense from Miami. Timing pass on 3rd and 9. They have 23 yards to work with. So timing pass is going to be incomplete, and that's going to bring up a 4th down. So an incompletion there. They're going to kick a field goal. It's their 4th and 9 from the 11. Now their field goal is a 30. So half of that would be 15. If they're inside of half of that, it would be less than 15, which is where they are now. So that's going to be an automatic 3 points for the Redskins. So that's sort of how the automated kicking works. Miami football out to the 26. 1st and 10 for the Dolphins, as switchovers are pretty quick in this game. It'll save you a little bit of time. 1st down play inside to Larry Zonka. That's 4 yards up the gut, and 4 minus 1 is 3. So a nice 3-yard gain on 1st down. Brings up 2nd down and 7. Progression pass. Let's put it in Greasy's hands. It's 6 to the tight end. Tight end is a -2, so that becomes a 4. 4 minus 2 is just 2 more. And a short pass to the tight end as he can't get away from the defender. So that'll bring up 3rd down and 5. 3rd and 5, we can do a progression pass or a timing pass. Let's go with the progression pass. 7 to the flanker. The flanker is a -1, so that's 6. 6 minus 2 is 4. And that's going to leave them 1 yard short. And now we have a coaching decision to make. We are going to run the ball up the middle, 4th down. This is probably not something that you should do, but not with a lead. So I'm going to do it. And the 1st down is 1 yard away. So Don Shula says, let's roll the dice here. This is a place where we're going to do that. And we got to stem the tide from this Washington offense looking good on that first drive. So inside run, 5 yards to the halfback. That's 6 minus 1 is 5 yards. And that is out to the 40. Nice run by Mercury Morris up the gut off of the left guard. And that'll be a 5-yard run for a 1st down. So 1st and 10 from the 40 for Miami. Outside run. 3 to the fullback. That's Zonka to the outside off of the tackle. 4 yards. -1 is 3. And that is out to the 43. Brings up 2nd down and 7. 2nd and 7. Let's go with an inside run again. This time it's Zonka for 2. 2 minus 1 is 1. Good defense there from Washington. They have a -1 run defense. So just 1 yard on the game brings up 3rd down and 6. 3rd and 6. Let's go with a timing pass. And that is going to be incomplete. So Greasy comes up short on the incompletion. That brings up 4th down and 6. Got to punt it now. as they're at their own 44. So 10, 20, 30, 40, 1, 2, 3, down to the 13. And the return is 5 yards out to the 18. So it does pin Washington back pretty far. And Miami playing the field position game. 1st and 10 for Washington. It'll be an outside run leaning into that halfback position. The give is to the running back, though. That's 2 minus 2 is 0. And the -2 for the run defense is a -2 on the play. So going backwards that time. 2nd down and 12. Let's go with the progression pass. Pass was working for the Redskins earlier. They get 2 to the halfback is 4. 4 minus 2 is just 2 yards on the completion. So they get back to the original line of scrimmage, 3rd down and 10, and we have to try to hit on the timing pass. Can't. That's going to be an incompletion, and that brings up 4th down, as passing's been a little bit hit or miss here. Each team with less than 20 passing attempts here. We're almost through the 3rd quarter. We get a punt on 4th and 10, and the punt is going to go 39 yards. So 10, 20, 30, 40 minus 1. And then the return is 7. Yes, 7 is out to midfield. So Miami plays the field position game perfectly. They're going to start 1st and 10 from the 50-yard line. Let's go with the outside run, see if they can bang one out here. Oh, goodness, that's a -1. So that negates their benches 1. So that's a 0 and a -1 as they go backward to the 49. Brings up 2nd down and 11. 2nd and 11, let's do with the progression pass. 5 to the tight end. The tight end is a -2. So that's going to turn into a 1-yard gain. And that brings up 3rd down and 10. Timing pass. Anyone? 17 to the flanker. The flanker is a -1. So 16. 16 minus 2 is 14. 10, 2, 3, 4 out to the 36. And that is 1st and 10. Another 14-yard gain from, I always want to say Brian Greasy because that's who I grew up with, but Bob Greasy is dad. 1st and 10 from the 36 as Greasy hits on 3rd and long. Inside run. It will be the halfback Morris. He goes for 0. And brings up 2nd down and 10. 2nd and 10, progression pass. Incomplete. And 3rd down and 10, let's go with the timing pass. That is also going to be incomplete. So they are at the 36-yard line. Can they kick a field goal? That's the question. Their yards, their line to get to is the 32. So they're at the 36. They can go for it here, or they can try the angle punt or coffin corner punt. That would be minus 10 yards off of whatever their punting is. Their punting number is a 43, so that would become a 33. They're at the 36. 36 minus 3 is down to the 3. So a 33-yard punt from here would go out of bounds at the 3, and that's what they're going to do. And they will perfectly execute that coffin corner punt as the ball goes out of bounds at the 3-yard line. And Washington is in the shadow of their own end zone with just a few plays left here in the quarter. 5 plays left. So 1st and 10, they're going to run it up inside, hope that they don't get pushed back into the end zone. It's 5 to the halfback. So 7 overall. Actually 5 overall. And there's a fumble on the play. So let's see, a 6-6, it stays with the offense. Otherwise, it's a fumble on the play. It's a 3-4. And so that is a huge turnover as we get 5 and a fumble. Second fumble of the day. No, first fumble of the day for the Redskins, but it comes at a horrible time. So out to the 8-yard line, and then there's a fumble. And the defense picks it up at the 8. It'll be 1st and goal for Miami from the 8-yard line. They have a 7-3 lead, and this one just turned on its head. We'll go with the inside run for the Dolphins. That's the halfback Mercury Morris with a 4-yard run down to the 4. Brings up 2nd down and 6. Let's go with an outside run to the fullback Zonka off the tackle. 4. It's going to be a 3-yard run. That gets it all the way down to the 1. And that is 3rd down and short. 3rd and short. Let's go up the gut. 2 to the halfback, Mercury Morris off the guard. He is going to put it in for a 2-yard gain, and that is a 1-yard touchdown score from Mercury Morris as the Dolphins take the 13-3 lead. Let's see if they make the extra point. So on a 1/2, it's a missed PAT. It's a 4-4. That would be a missed field goal, but not a missed PAT. And Miami takes a 14-3 lead over the Redskins. So out to the 24 we go. We have 1 play left here in the quarter, and it'll be 1st and 10. Let's go with the outside run. Oh, yikes. -1, -3. And it will be 2nd down and 13 whenever we come back for the 4th quarter. All right, and we're back with 4th quarter action. This is the 1973 Super Bowl. Miami at Washington. Miami just took the 14-3 lead on a 1-yard touchdown plunge from Mercury Morris. It is 2nd down and 13. 10, 11, 12, 13. 2nd and 13. Let's go with a progression pass. Let's see if we can pick up some of those yards. 5 yards to the flanker. The flanker is a 0, so 5 - 2 is a 3-yard gain. Gets them back to the original line of scrimmage. Brings up 3rd down and 10. And we got to go with the timing pass here. Let's see if they can pick it up. 10 yards to the split end. The split end is a +1. So that's 11 - 2 is 9, and that's going to put them 1 yard short. They're down 14-3, so 2 scores. I think we're just going to go for it here. So 4th and 1, this is the game. I think if they don't pick this up, Miami is probably going to score again because they're almost in field goal range. So let's go with the outside run. We need to counter that -2. So whatever they get on this outside run is going to be what they get on the play. 2. That's exactly what they needed. So they get 2 yards. They needed 1. They get 2. And that is a 1st down run. So good job by me. 1st and 10. Let's go back to the outside run. 5 to the halfback is going to be 5 yards. So out to the 40, 2nd down and 5. 2nd and 5. Let's go with a progression pass. Take our chances here. 6 to the tight end is going to be 5 - 2, so 3-yard gain. 2, 3, and out to the 43. Brings up 3rd down and short. So 3rd and 2. 3rd and 2. Let's go with we have inside or progression pass. Let's go with the inside run. It's 2 yards to the halfback, and that's exactly what we needed for the 1st down. So good pickup there from Washington to pick up that 1st down. Let's go back to the outside run. 3 to the halfback is a 3-yard gain. 48, so 2nd down and 7. It makes it easier because there's a -2 running defense, and then our halfback is a +2, so that basically cancels itself out and leaves you with whatever's here. So little things like that can help speed up the game. 3rd down and 7. 2nd down and 7. Let's go with a progression pass. That's going to be incomplete. 3rd down and 7. Again, I'm holding myself to the menu, to the Smash Mouth offense play sheet. So 2nd and 7, you could do an inside run or a progression pass. Now we have 3rd and 7, so we got a progression pass or a timing pass, which is a little bit deeper. Let's go with the progression pass. Let's try to get a completion and get a little bit closer to that 1st down. Should have gone with the timing pass. It was incomplete. I think at this point we will kick the ball. There's not too many plays left, but there's just enough. Maybe we'll get a turnover or something and flip the table. The punt is going to go 39 yards, 10, 20, 30, 40, plus or minus 1. And the return is 7, so it's going to be out to the 20. And Miami will have a long way to go. 5th punt of the game for the Redskins. Each team with 5 punts so far. And 14-3 is the lead for Miami over Washington. 1st and 10. They're going to go with the inside run. That is the halfback Morris for a 0-yard gain. Don't know why I moved him. 2nd down. 30 rushes now for Miami, the 1st to 30. They also have 22 pass attempts, so very balanced in their offense. 2nd down play, inside run again. This will be a -1 as the halfback potentially fumbles the ball. The ball's on the ground. A 6-6 means the offense keeps it. There is no 6-6, and that is going to be a turnover, and that's exactly what Washington was hoping for. Is they're going to take over 1st and 10 from the 19. We go -1 with a fumble, and 2nd fumble of the day for the Miami Dolphins has kept Washington in it. It's 14-3. Washington is inside the red zone. I don't think it was known as the red zone back in the day. So that's definitely what we call it. 1st and 10. Let's go with the outside run. 2 to the fullback is going to be 2 minus 2. That's a 0-yard gain. So 2nd down and 10. And let's throw a progression pass. 6 to the wide receiver. The wide receiver is the bench. So 6 minus 2 is just a 2-yard gain as they get a little short out route or something. And that's going to bring up 3rd down and I think I went too many. Third down and 8. Let's go with the timing pass. Timing pass is incomplete. So that will be 4th down. 4th down and 8 from the 17-yard line. They have to be inside the 15 for an automatic field goal, so they're going to have to kick the field goal here. A 4-4 is going to be a miss. A 1-2 is going to be a blocked field goal. So let's see. A 4-4 is a miss. Oh, no. They needed it, and they got a miss. 1 for 2 now on field goals. And Miami's going to take over. 1st and 10. We'll give it at the 24. That's where you would spot the... I don't know if that's how they did it back in the day, but that's how we're going to do it in this one. So we spotted at the 24, and it'll be 1st and 10 as Miami dodges a bullet here in the 4th quarter. 1st and 10, inside run. 2 to the halfback, so Morris for a gain of 2 yards. Out to the 26, brings up 2nd down and 8. And 2nd and 8, let's go with the progression pass from Greasy. 2 to the fullback. That's 3 yards, -2, just a 1-yard gain out of the backfield. And that is a completion, but a small one to Bob Greasy. 3rd down and 7. Let's go with the timing pass, see if they can hit on it. Quarterback pressure. So when there's a quarterback pressure, I'm going to pull off this pile. I know I said that one, but I'm going to pull off this pile because I think that feels right. We're going to take the worst of the progression or the timing pass. So it could be it's a huge play still. Quarterback pressure, the worst. There's 7 yards to the wide receiver or an incompletion. So I'm going to take the incompletion, and that's going to bring up 4th down and whatever that is, 7. So an incompletion to Bob Greasy is going to lead to a punt, 43 yards, 10, 20, 30, 40, and 1, 2, 3 down to the 30, and 5 yards is out to the 35. So 1st and 10 for Washington as they force a punt, and they need scores quickly here. So because they need scores quickly, maybe we should just change our offensive strategy. let's put them in the, pro style offense and see how they do for this. So 1st and 10, inside progression, outside timing. We're going to go with the timing pass on 1st down and 10. 21 to the flanker. Bing, bang, boom. 21 minus 2 is 19. So 10, 20, 19 out to the 46, and that paid off dividends. It won't always, but it did there. Let's go to the outside run. 19 yards. Don't forget that. Outside run. Nothing to the running back. That's a -2, and -2 is -4, and that puts them back to the 50. 2nd down and 14. Not a good play there. 2nd and long. We can do the timing pass. Let's see if we can make that happen. We get a sack on the timing pass. Is just a sack of 2 yards, so you add those two together. But they're going backward, and that's not the way they need to go. So a sack for -2. That is the 2nd sack of the game. Does each team have one? Each team has at least 1 sack. So 3rd down and 16, I believe. And let's go with the timing pass here. 27 to the flanker. So 27 minus 2 is 25. 10, 20, and 5 is down to the 27. That'll be a 1st and 10 as they hit on the deep pass. Desperation in some ways. So 25. And it will be 1st and 10 as time is running out. They do have all their timeouts, so we can use those timeouts as we go along. 1st and 10, let's go with the progression pass. 4 yards to the flanker. He has just a 2-yard gain out to the 25. And 2nd down and long. Let's go with the timing pass. Timing pass is incomplete. And let's go back to that timing pass on 3rd and long. 13 to the split end. Becomes 14, becomes 12. So 10, 11, 12, down to the 13. And that is 1st and 10. Nice pickup on 3rd and long. It's 1st and 10 from the 13-yard line. We got to go back to the timing pass. We don't have too many plays left. Incomplete. That brings up 2nd down. 2nd and 10. Timing pass again. Incomplete. Timing pass again. 3rd down. Incomplete. We got 4th down. I think we got to go for it one more time, right? 12 to the split end. 12 plus 1 is 13 minus 2 is 11. So that's going to get them down to the 2-yard line. It'll be 1st and goal from the 2 as they do pick up the 1st down. And we're going to call a timeout. So that means timeout here. 1st time out of the game. We're going to draw from our timeout pile. We only have 3 of those. So it's going to be 1st and goal from the 2-yard line. Let's go with the, we have inside run or progression pass. Let's go with the inside run. 0 to the halfback is a 2. 2 minus 2 is 0 as they pick up nothing. And they're going to take their 2nd timeout. So it's going to be inside run again. This time they get 1 to the fullback. 1 minus 2 is -1. So they have to really do something to counter that defense. They're going to take their 3rd timeout. And this time I think we got to go with the progression pass, try to get the ball into the end zone. So progression pass, 5 to the flanker. Flanker is a 0. 5 minus 2 is 3. 3 is all they need for a touchdown. And that will be a 3-yard touchdown pass. So let's see about the extra point. A 6-6 is going to be a good extra point after touchdown. They score 7. It's now 14-10. That's part of what they needed. You know what? They got to go for 2 on that. They need 11. So let's go for 2. Because this is an untimed down, I'm just going to take it here. And we will go with from the 2-yard line. All right, progression pass. They're going to try to pass it into the end zone and get the 2-point conversion. 4 to the flanker. 4 minus 2 is 2, and that's all they needed. So that's going to be 8 points as they get a 2-point conversion. So it is 14-11, and I'm going to give them one opportunity at the onside kick. Let me put you on hold while I figure out the onside kick. All right, so I found the onside kick rule from the version 2 stuff. Flip the off-deck FAC, consult both teams' roll numbers, and modify them with the appropriate intangibles rating. So the Dolphins are a 2. The Redskins are a 1, so the Dolphins are going to have the advantage here on the onside kick. If it's a modified 4 on the opposing team's roll number, then another check is made. Otherwise, if it's a 4 on the kicking team's roll number, after it's been modified, then the ball is recovered. No further check required. So the Dolphins are going to be the team on the left, and the Redskins, the team on the right. If the Dolphins get to a 4, so they just have a 2 or better, they'll receive the onside kick. It's a 5, so with the modification, it's a 7. So that means that the Dolphins are going to recover it, and we have just one play left. And I'll give it to them at the 50. So onside kick is unsuccessful. I think we'll call that a kickoff. And we should have 3 for Washington. And we should have 3 over here. First down and 10. This is an inside run, -2 to the fullback. So that's going to be the end of the game. And I'll just give that -2. So that's a +1, -1, so -2. All right, so that's going to be the end of the game as it ends in pretty eventful fashion. 14-11. Super Bowl, whatever it is, 1973. Miami at Washington. Miami comes away with the win. They preserve their undefeated season. And they win this one 14-11. The real score is 14-7, which kind of happened on a funky, fluky play. So this is playing the game. You can see even with all the talking and all that kind of stuff, played it in about 30, probably 45 minutes or so. So this is the beginnings of Field General Football. You can see the logo will look something like that. It won't be exactly that, but the cards, they have kind of an old school blue. You can't see it very well, but it's blue writing on it. And everything kind of fits together. We're going to bring the branding together a little bit. You can see Jason's kind of original typewriter typeface kind of thing going on. That won't be on the cards per se, but it will be probably in the, this is from the game, the new game guide. So that'll probably be how things look. I'll give a little bit of an homage to that. And I don't have an ETA on this, so I'll just keep plugging away and making stuff. Again, I'm hoping to release the 1970s first, so 70 to 79, and that'll be the first season set. And then you'll be able to get 10 years of rated teams just like this, and so it'll be rated on this page. You have all the numbers for the different positions, kicking, defense, and then the interception returns and the intangibles. You have all the teams over here. So we're going to go through and rate those teams. We'll put them into some sort of a PDF that you could download, or if you want to buy a print version, I'm hoping to be able to put together a print version. So those be in like a little book you can just kind of lay out or flip through. So the game should present really well. We'll have either these print and play FACs, or you will be able to purchase like a real nice deck of FACs, kind of like we have here for the Play Action Football. So if you're familiar with the Play Action Express printed deck, it'll be something like that. And then we'll have all the game rules. We got, I'm playing with these different offenses. These are pretty basic offenses that you can use for any time in football. You'll also be able to create custom ones if you want to. So you can create a custom one for your own team against whatever teams are in your division, or if you want to do one for the entire season and you stick with it, or if you want to do one for each game and really just do kind of a more strategic sort of look. Because if you're playing the Vikings are a +1 on their run defense and a -2 on pass defense. So maybe you want to do something that's maybe you want to lay out something where there's fewer passes, and you just want to run even on 3rd and long or something like that because you want to attack that defense. Or you're playing against who's a good team. So you're playing the New England Patriots, who are +2 against the runs. They give you 2 yards every time, and they only take away 1 on the pass. So maybe you want to throw in more passing against New England because 1, you can get yardage on the run whenever you need it, and 2, they're going to provide less resistance against the pass than most of the teams in this era. So you can kind of shape your game plan toward who you're playing. If you're playing the Chiefs are a 0 against the run and a -2 against the pass. So you're probably going to want to, push things toward the run. Jason assures me that as you get to later years, like closer to today, those numbers start to become less for the versus the pass. It becomes easier to throw the ball. And so you'll have to change your game plans a little bit for that as well. These game plans here are based off of down and distance. They're not based off of the era. So these are just based off of what does the West Coast offense do on 1st and 10, 2nd and long, 2nd and medium, 3rd and short. This is agnostic to the era. This is all about this particular offensive style of play. So if you have the West Coast offense in the 80s, it will be easier to throw the ball. So you have more passing on earlier downs than you would for the smash mouth. So you kind of match up things how you want to play the game. This is really a play calling system, a play calling strategic game. And so that's what we're going to lean into as far as the way that the engine goes, the way the ratings are, the way the FAC deck. I've not changed anything about the original deck. That was a request from Jason that the deck is, and I've checked it, it's terrifically balanced. The random numbers are not attached to any of the results. So they are truly random on the cards, and everything checks out 100%, 110%, 150% on the FAC deck. So there's no need to change any of the results on there. Anything that I do is just aesthetics. It doesn't have anything to do with changing the actual FACs. So if you have the original FACs and those have not changed over the years, then you'll be able to use those with this. So if you bought them from VSU Sports, you should be able to play them with all of the ratings and stuff like that from the game, plus anything that gets added to the game. So should be really cool. And I like this. I like this game. The more I play it, the more I kind of get a feel for 1970s football. I was having a really hard time at the beginning, but I feel like I'm getting a little bit better sense of you just got to be patient with the run. So each team with almost 30 rushes, we did get to 33 passes for the Redskins, which is quite a bit, but 24 is going to be about right for the Dolphins, if I remember correctly, and I'll just have to go through and figure out these totals and stuff like that. But everything looks like it did, feels like it did during this actual game, which helps me to see that, it's like spot on. So if you have any questions or comments, leave them down in the comments section. If you like this video, just give it a thumbs up. If you have not subscribed, click on subscribe and you'll be notified of new videos whenever I post them. If you want to join the Facebook group, you're on Facebook. That's where you're going to get a ton of information, and I put polls up and just different things I'm working on or things I see. That's my main social media sort of outlet. And so you can join the Facebook group by going to Facebook groups, looking up Clark and Addison Gaming Company, and join the group that way. Be sure that you answer all the questions and agree to the group rules. Otherwise, I'm not going to let you in. It's a private group, so there's no spamming or weirdness going on there, so you can be assured. It's only about my games, and it's only about what's happening with my company, and it's only about the other gamers who are playing Clark and Addison games and sharing their results and all that kind of stuff. So an excellent community. It's over 250 people strong and growing almost every week. Same thing with the channel here. We're up at almost 500 now subscribers. So I think 490 was the last I saw. I can't remember, but something like that. So this channel is growing as well. And we have football, basketball, baseball. There's a little bit of hockey. There's a little bit of soccer. There's a little bit of kind of everything on this channel. And if things go well here, maybe we can port some of Jason's other Flash sport games over as well. He's got boxing and hockey and basketball and something else. I can't remember the other. So maybe, racing. So maybe we can bring some of those things over as well, and bring those into this universe and sort of give them a new life also. All right. I think that's it from here. So the Dolphins win the Super Bowl 14-11 over the Washington Redskins. Terrific game as Washington gets a touchdown late on a 3-yard pass and a 2-point conversion to get them to 11, but dominated mostly by Miami. But Miami had a couple of fumbles there, which was pretty tough. And finally, in the second half, Washington got the passing game going, so that was nice. But Miami too tough on defense, I think, in general. Not easy to score on. So that's it from here. I think that's it. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you again next time.